Welcome to Hurry Up Pinball, a show where I teach you how to work on your pinball machine. Today I will be showing you how to install plastic protectors on the lane guides and slings. So grab some tools and let's get going. Plastic protectors are a great way to keep your playfield plastics in great shape. These plastics didn't have washers or plastic protectors and paid the price. This is a very common area for sling plastics to break if there's no protection. Here is the set of plastic protectors we will be installing today. You can purchase a basic set that covers the lane guides and slings, or a full set that covers all the plastics on the playfield. Open the coin door, remove the lockdown bar, and remove the playfield glass. Go ahead and close the coin door as well. Many new in-box pinballs will ship with washers to protect the corners of the slings. While these may work to protect the corners of the slings, they do not fully protect the plastics. Here are the locations for the protectors I will be installing. They will be placed under the playfield plastics. These plastic protectors still have the backing paper attached. Plastic protectors are available in a variety of colors from several different manufacturers. It's a good idea to have a small table or chair nearby for your tools and parts. For this install, we will be using a magnetic nut bowl, a telescoping magnetic tool, a 1/4 inch and 5/16 inch nut driver, and a Phillips screwdriver. Invest in a telescoping magnetic tool. It makes working on your pinball machine much easier, especially in hard to reach places. Using a nut driver, remove the top lock nut holding the sling plastic in place. Since the top nut is also holding the wire form, you will also need to remove the washer on the top and bottom of the wire form mounting arm. Here you can see how the magnetic tool makes grabbing the washer much easier. Pay special attention to the way the hardware is installed. If there are a lot of parts to remove in order to remove the playfield plastics, it's a good idea to take a picture that you can reference when reinstalling. Now remove the bottom lock nut. Set the hardware in your magnetic bowl for safekeeping. Now lift the wire form and gently remove the sling plastic. As you can see, one of the washers came off with the plastic and the other washer stayed on the post. Be very gentle when removing the washer that is stuck to the plastic. If you pull too hard, it may remove some of the screen graphics from the plastic. Now let's move over to the lane guide. Using your Phillips screwdriver to remove the screws holding the plastic in place. For the top screw, I had to move the wire form slightly to the side. Be careful not to bend the wire form. Now that you have access to the top screw, go ahead and remove it. Again, the magnetic tool makes removing these screws and washers much easier. Place the removed hardware in the magnetic bowl. Make sure to separate the hardware so you know what goes where. Remove the lane guide plastic. Here you can see some of the spacers are stuck to the lane guide plastic. Be careful when removing the spacers and try not to damage the screen plastic. Now remove the backing on both sides of the plastic protector for the lane guide. Line up the spacers and place the plastic protector on top of them. Now grab the lane plastic and using the screws you just removed, line up all the holes and hand tighten the screws enough to keep everything in place. We will go back and tighten these screws later after we install the top screw. Now install the spacer at the top of the lane guide. This space is a little tighter, but take your time, line everything up, and hand tighten the screw. After making sure the plastic protector is centered under the playfield plastic, go ahead and tighten the screws with your screwdriver. Be sure to make the screws snug, but do not over-tighten them. If you do, you can crack the plastics. As a reminder, check that the plastic protector is centered under the playfield plastic before tightening everything down. Now we will be installing the sling plastic protector. Remove the backing from the protector and install it on the playfield posts. Now raise the wire form and install the sling plastic. Don't forget to install the washer underneath the wire form mounting bracket. Install the second washer on top of the mounting arm bracket and install the lock nut. Hand tighten the top and bottom lock nuts. Before tightening down the lock nuts with your nut driver, be sure to center the plastic protector and align the wire form so the ball drops into the middle of the lane. You want to make the lock nuts snug, but do not over-tighten them as you may crack the plastic. Hang on to the washers that were originally used for protection on the slings. You can install them on other machines that may not have protection in place. Repeat this process on the other side. It is always a good idea to take a quick picture with your phone before you start working so you know exactly how things are installed. Some pinball machines can have several items around the slings or lane guides connected to one screw. I would recommend working on one section at a time when possible. If you remove hardware from multiple sections at the same time, you can get overwhelmed with nuts, bolts, screws, and washers, and other playfield parts. When removing a lot of hardware, keep the hardware separated based upon where it goes. As you dive deeper into working on your pinball machine, this separation of nuts, bolts, washers, screws, and playfield parts becomes really important. If you know you will be removing a lot of hardware from your pinball machine, grab a couple Ziploc bags so you can keep the parts separated. Double check that the plastic protector is properly aligned underneath the playfield plastic and that the wire form ball drop is centered over the lane. Grab a pinball from the machine and do several test drops to make sure the ball is dropping properly. Be sure to check the other side as well. If everything looks good, drop the pinball back in the machine. Here is how it should look with the plastic protectors in place. There should be a nice lip around the plastics to protect them from ball strikes. With installation complete, install the playfield glass, install the lockdown bar, and close the coin door. This is Craig with Hurry Up Pinball, and I wanted to say thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, show your support for Hurry Up Pinball and click the subscribe button. We can also be found on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram under Hurry Up Pinball.